Today's video is sponsored by Native Sons Goods, makers of the best woven guitar, bag, and camera straps on planet Earth. And now the best is even better with a new line of hand-woven Maya Serape straps with USA organic herringbone hemp backing. Get 10% off when you use the link in the description, and remember, when you support my sponsor, you support this channel, and I sure appreciate it.
Hey y'all, it's Shitpost Friday!
So up on the bench we have this thing. I was running around in my backyard this morning and tripped over this. Not sure what it is. Got it hooked up to the multimeter. We got a 1. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to restore this. I'm going to get my wire brush out and get this material off. And then I'm going to give it a bath. And then I'm going to put lacquer all over it.
Hey, how's it going, Phillies and fellers? Brad the Guitologist here, and it's time for another episode of
Shitpost Friday.
First up to Shitpost Friday, as usual, I like to get the very sad news out of the way. I'm sure all of you guys already know this, and I'm not really informing anybody at this point. I'm just basically paying tribute. The great Neil Peart, and it is Peart.
It's just Peart.
You sure that it's not Peart?
I think he would know.
Are you sure? Because we're pretty big fans.
Chill, man. Chill, man.
What an amazing talent! What a incredible loss to the music world and honestly to humanity as a whole. He just seemed like a really nice guy. You know, obviously he was a very private man. He was kind of notorious, you know, for a bit of a standoffish stance toward fans and like photo seekers and autograph seekers and things like that. He just really was never comfortable with that, and it kind of was a constant subject that was brought up in interviews over the years. But, you know, having listened to a lot of interviews of him, especially over the past few days since news of his passing broke, you know, I could say with a lot of assuredness, you know, he was really a guy who was a great conversationalist. A lot of the interviews that I've seen of him, he could just talk about a lot of different subjects and very intelligently so. And, you know, just a great loss, you know, not only to the music world, but to the literary world. The guy was a poet. You know, he was also a writer. He talked a lot in interviews about trying to improve himself in terms of, you know, learning about art and learning more about how to write prose and a lot of travel logs and things like that. And he had a couple of published books throughout his life. And, you know, at one point when his daughter died in the mid-90s, I think it was the mid-90s, and she was only 19 years old. I mean, can you imagine that? Having your child die, but, you know, having them die so young in the prime of their life and with everything ahead of them, and, you know, just a really sad thing. And his wife also died there in rapid succession, you know, and he just got on his motorcycle and just started traveling and started trying to find himself, I guess, again. And he, you know, he remarried as well and had another child with his new wife. And so that was great that he got a chance to restart things and have a second chance, you know, at life too. So it wasn't all bad for Neil Peart, but just how tragic, you know, that at only 67 we lose such an icon of the drums. Probably the greatest rock drummer who has ever picked up a pair of sticks, and I'm sure most rock drummers would concur with that. I think you'd be very hard pressed to find a drummer today who would not put Neil Peart at or near the top of their all-time great list. You know, even if they did include the great jazz drummers like Buddy Rich, I'm certain that Neil Peart would make it somewhere on the list of most drummers you ask. Just a huge blow. You know, I was kind of trolling Facebook and stuff, and I was noticing everybody's tributes, and I was noticing everybody, they would put up their, you know, pictures with wearing their old Rush shirts, you know, from back in the day and stuff, you know, and pictures of Rush concerts that they'd been to and things like this. And it's just, you know, it really drives it home when you see how many people among your friends who were touched by his music at some point in their lives and are still being touched by his music. And yeah, man, just rest in peace, Neil. Go with God, man. Go find your daughter. Go find your wife. You know, some great drummers have passed away in fairly recent memory. You know, in the 2000s, we had Mitch Mitchell died, I think, in 2008. Vinnie Paul passed away just, I think, last year or the year before. Nick Menza from, of course, Megadeth passed away not all that long ago, I think a year or two ago. And man, just a lot of drummers, it seems like, in addition to all the great guitar players who are passing away. You know, I hate to dwell on it, but, you know, I mean, obviously, this man deserves some kind of tribute from me. All right, guys, in other news, I wanted to bring your attention to something. My attention was brought to this yesterday. I had a conversation with Kennis Russell, who is a guitar YouTuber, had a YouTube channel with about 50,000 subscribers, and at least as of the making of this video, he has lost that channel to a hacker who he says sent him an email, talked to him about advertising. He ends up going to this website that the guy directs him to. It's supposed to be where he can download an app, and he's going to need the code to authorize it and all this stuff. Essentially lures him to this site, or he downloads, I guess, an executable, and the guy's able to actually get into his computer, gets into his YouTube channel, adds himself as a user on the YouTube channel, and then deletes Kennis as a user on the channel. And apparently this is a big thing that's happening. A lot of other YouTubers have had this happen, even good-sized YouTubers. I mean, we're talking with hundreds of thousands of subscribers have had the exact same thing happen. They've had a really hard time getting YouTube to react to this in a timely manner before these people basically turn their channel into like a very quick money-making scheme. Essentially what they'll start doing is they'll start just uploading anything and everything to these channels after they've redirected the AdSense accounts to some offshore bank account, so that basically they're just raking in all this money until the channel finally gets taken down by YouTube. And YouTube is deleting these channels from these people, and Kennis even says he gave YouTube warning. He's like, hey, look, these people have hijacked my channel. I go there and I can't even see myself as a user on the channel. I'm looking at my own channel as if I'm just an outsider on my own channel now. And it's, you know, I think these people are going to start uploading stuff or something and you know, spoofing and taking over my channel here. Is there anything we can do to head this off? And they just keep sending him form letters and form letters, basically doing nothing because they know nothing. He's kind of in the back of the line, I suppose, but YouTube should have more of a front line approach to this. Like, if you have somebody whose channel has been hacked, that's a pretty big deal, you know, and they should take that very seriously, I would think. So Kennis also made a video detailing, you know, his plight to get his channel back.
This is my second video on this channel. My first one was explaining that my YouTube channel with 50,000 subscribers plus had been hacked and deleted. So I'm on this journey to build up to 1,000 subscribers and get 4,000 viewing hours in order to be monetized on this channel. I wanted to, in this video, share with you how my YouTube channel got hacked. As you can see in this email that I'll read it's pretty amazing how they manipulated me into thinking that this was legitimate. It says, hey, my name is Isabella. I'm the advertising manager for this company called MuseX, and we'd like to buy from you an advertisement for a couple of videos. We would like to show you the pre-roll, how to install and run, sign up, log in, and review the basic functions. After registration in the installed application, you'll be given a free trial period, which you can fully familiarize yourself with the program's functionality. Usually when you're getting scammed, people are like, click, 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 please download my scam thing as fast as you can. I want to get it. It's like they're playing the long game on this. What happened when I tried to install this is, you know, I hit the executable file, and as I look back on it, there was like a red flag, something inside of me saying this doesn't seem quite right. It had like some gibberish in it. It was like a bunch of letters and numbers. Windows popped up and said this thing has a virus, in which case I was like, shut it down. You know, I turned it off. It's kind of embarrassing to me, but I wanted to let people know what that process was like.
I urge you guys to go over to his second channel. I'll put a link down in the description. If nothing else, subscribe to his second channel. Help the guy out. Help him get to 1,000 subs and maybe the 4,000 hours watch time that he needs to get to, so that, you know, he can remonetize this second channel and hopefully just start rebuilding a channel just in case, you know, he doesn't get his original channel back. You know, he's lucky in that whoever took his channel over didn't really go through, at least not that he could tell, didn't go through and start deleting all of his old videos. They actually just started uploading new videos. And you're talking about stuff from like WWE Raw and all this stuff, and they basically just turned his channel into a gold mine for a short time. So, yeah, just very scary stuff. And you know what's interesting is today, after he had warned me about this yesterday, and we were talking about it. He was like, yeah, this happened after I reached the 50,000 subscribers threshold, and it seemed like I got a lot more people interested in doing, advertising and stuff on my channel. The emails for the VPNs and all this stuff that wanted to advertise, and I get those all the time too. And I refuse most of those, because most of them, they want like 45-second ads, and they want to do games, and they want to do, even Skillshare, which is a good, lucrative ad. I have actually refused to do Skillshare ads because they want 45 seconds at the start of videos. A lot of people in the comments will complain about the ads on my channel, but you guys don't understand how much I've actually shielded you from having to watch crap that you have, no interest in, like for 45 seconds at the start or the middle of a video. But, that's a whole nother subject we could get into another day. But I have refused a lot of these kinds of advertisers with all these demands, and they want you to say certain things, and I'm not comfortable with that. I don't think you'd be comfortable watching it and watching this channel turn into that, so I haven't done it. But it was interesting to me that he was talking about that, and he said they actually offered an advertising thing that he was half interested in, which was like a digital audio workstation kind of application. That's how they ended up getting him. And I noticed this email was interesting to me that I got, and let this be a warning to everybody with a YouTube channel, man. You guys have got to be diligent about this and vigilant about this. Especially if you're approaching some of these milestones as well, you need to really think about this critically. YouTube will never email you asking you for information. They will never email you and send you to a website which is going to ask you for information. They're not going to do that. They're not going to ask you for your username, password, birth date, none of that shit. They already have all that shit. Why would they have to ask for it? But I got this interesting email from something called DB Team. Okay, and if I click on it, customer form is the headline here. YouTube, and if I look closely at the little YouTube logo here, it's kind of pixelated, like they just grabbed it off the net. And if I go to the if I look here at the email address, it doesn't say email it doesn't say YouTube in the address. It says Team Academy at icaremanagement.net. But it says, hey creators, posing as YouTube, official YouTube. This year has been amazing. You can submit a request for a verification badge. And, I'm getting close to 100,000 subscribers, so I guess the verification badge, I don't know when it actually comes or when you get a chance to do it, but it looks like they're trying to spoof on that. Like, anybody who approaches 100,000 subs, you need to really be vigilant on this and watch out for this scam. This form will help with that request, and if I'm sure if I click on this, it's going to take me mjt.lu. So what's .lu? Is that Lithuania or something? But anyway, that's where it wants to take me. If I were to click on this form, that's where it would take me. And actually, out of the interest of science, I might actually do it on my iPhone. See what it takes you to there? It's a spoof Google page, but look at the URL up here. If I were to type in my information there, they would hack my account, and they would take it over, and the Guitologist would be gone. And I'm sure this probably happens to a lot of people. They think, oh great, I'm finally going to get my verification badge. And if you're not savvy, man, they'll get you. So be vigilant, be aware, and definitely go help Kennis out. I'm sure he would greatly appreciate it. Speaking of YouTube and YouTube support and all this stuff, I've had to email YouTube support lately because you get the little t-shirt bar or merchandise bar down below if you start a merch store, and it takes a long time for them to sometimes to approve all of your designs. Like for instance, the Flex design that I made with Mike Tyson, it took them a while to do that one, but they finally did approve that. And one design they still haven't approved since the beginning of December, and I thought this was really interesting, was the Trumpzilla design that I had done. And it's just, I'm kind of spoofing Trump, who is the president of the country. He's kind of he's waving his finger, and he's playing one of those wild ESP Godzilla guitars. I'm not really expressing anything either way with it. It's just I thought it was a funny picture that I used in a thumbnail on one of my videos, so I decided why the hell not. I'll just throw it on a t-shirt. If you guys are interested, great. If not, that's fine too. But what was interesting to me is that they still have not approved that design. This other YouTuber I noticed the other day popped up with a video about this, and some of his designs have been taken down.
YouTube has banned every one of my pro-Trump custom-designed t-shirts from appearing in the merch shelf below my videos. They gave me this wonderful notice saying some of the items you chose to display aren't available anymore. You may have deleted them, which I didn't, or they don't comply with community guidelines. Yes, because selling a t-shirt with the presidents on Mount Rushmore all wearing Trump hats is just too offensive.
At least as of the time of his video, I think they had actually seen his video and put him back up by the time his video had gotten a few 100,000 hits. But I just thought that was very interesting that they're starting to go around and either ban images of Donald Trump in the merch stores or just not let them be approved at all. You know, and I've actually contacted support about it a couple different times. I'm like, hey, when are you going to approve these designs? I contacted them at the beginning of December. I was like, why have you not approved these? Is there something wrong? Am I violating something? And they never could let me know, which I just thought it was very interesting that it was just that one that they wouldn't approve. And, you know, ask yourselves why that would be. Whether you like the guy or not shouldn't be material. Putting a picture of him holding a guitar, it's relevant to my channel. I'm not expressing any kind of hatred toward anybody or anything. It's just an image of the guy holding a guitar, and I can't use that. And as a matter of fact, he had a strap that was a Native Son strap. If you look really closely, he's wearing a Native Son strap, which I thought was just a funny touch. This kind of stuff is what really bothers me, and I could do whole videos on this subject and probably speak until my face was blue. And half of my audience would hate me for it, and the other half of you would love me for it. And, you know, I don't think there would be hardly anybody who would just be indifferent to it. And that's, you know, it's a real sad state of affairs that we have reached in the world today, that we can't express ourselves in this way without being censored. That's a really scary thing. You know, and you could see it a lot too, like, but the differences between Google searches versus like DuckDuckGo searches. You know, I've done videos too that I haven't released that went into really in depth on, because I'll be looking for a schematic or something, and I'll search for it on Google, but I can't find it, and it's just buried, and you can't find anything on Google image searches anymore. But then I'll go to DuckDuckGo and I'll be able to find exactly what I'm looking for very quick, because they haven't censored all of the results, it seems, over there. So I don't know, man. I do know, but I'm not going to get into it. Put it that way. I know exactly what's going on and why they do it, and, you know, but what are you going to do? It's not my company. So, whatever. But back on a lighter note, I thought this was very funny. So this couple breaks into this music store, and they not only do they accidentally leave one of their driver's licenses on the floor of the music store, but they took a lift to get to the store to rob it, and then took another lift to get away.
The married couple that is charged for breaking into the Berkeley Music Company didn't exactly think this one through. A couple things I can think of you do not want to leave behind at a crime scene. Maybe number one, your license. And if you're going to do that, you better have a reliable getaway car. She's a vintage beauty.
Those would be the ones you grabbed. Not the broken bass at the back door with no strings or bridge on it that is unplayable.
Alleged B&E masterminds.
Gas pedal.
Matthew and Chelsea Fegley overlooking that gem for this.
I would have gave it to them if they would have just asked.
Owner of Berkeley Music Company, Dana Save, says the couple cased the place in an Uber, then came back in another Uber New Year's Eve, this time with hammers.
So when I arrived, the door was all smashed out.
They were in and out quick, getting about $2,000 in instruments.
When they made the genius heist, they ended up down the street with the alarm going off, a couple blocks away from the Berkeley police.
Another rideshare service scooped them up, the suspected thieves making one critical error.
I said to the police, "Is that a driver's license on the ground?" The cop said, "Yep." So that was the first indication we weren't dealing with professionals.
Oops. On top of that, a cop actually watched them load the guitars up in a vehicle just minutes after a guitar shop was broken into blocks away.
They caught him in the Uber with the hammers, the glass, and the useless instrument, as well as, a couple other good ones.
Dana got his merchandise back.
They probably spent more on the Uber than they would have got from the pawn shop, so it doesn't make much sense.
They did have to shell out some cash to fix that door.
Just about $1,000. Yeah, as a small business, Phew, my kids need shoes too. I hope they got a good chuckle, so it was at least worth a little bit of their time for, America's most dumb criminals.
I mean, just how fucking stupid do you have to be? And on top of it all, the store is full of $1,000 guitars. And what do they steal? They steal a couple of decent ones and a crappy ass bass. You really got to admire the store owner's sense of humor there. He's like, these people are stupid.
Phew, my kids need shoes too.
These two can't be more than, 25 maybe at the most. I mean, look at her. She's like somebody's daughter, just in deep shit. And probably he's the one who got her in all this trouble. I pray to God every day my daughters never meet any jackasses like this. The store owner's like, yeah, they probably spent more on the Ubers than they would have gotten at the pawn shop on any of this stuff anyway. They have absolutely no sense of economics whatsoever. Also in the news, I did notice some Rock and Roll Hall of Fame news. So Notorious B.I.G., Depeche Mode, Doobie Brothers, T-Rex are all being inducted into the 2020 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class. Dave Matthews Band, Motorhead, and Pat Benatar did not make the cut, and neither did Judas Priest. Can you believe also that Notorious B.I.G. and Whitney Houston are making the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before Pat Benatar? I mean, really? Fucking Pat Benatar was around in the mid-70s. All through the 80s, she had enormous hits. She was like huge in the MTV era. She was one of the darlings of the MTV era. I mean, I don't know how many millions of records she sold, but it must have been a lot of them. And just an amazing voice, and she's still doing it now. Whitney Houston, she didn't have all that many hits. She had, The Bodyguard with I Will Always Love You, which was a cover, by the way. And then she had a couple off that first album, I Want to Dance with Somebody, and
I believe the children are our future. Thank you. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Let them lead the way. They're not rock and roll dudes. I mean, this is the same old argument. It's like this is supposed to be the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I don't think it's supposed to. It's just all a popularity contest, and it's just a money-making scheme, and it's all bullshit. But if for whatever reason, I was going to be inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I would probably tell them to fuck. I think I would have more of a benefit from the publicity of having told Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to go sit and spin than I would being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I will say, it's good that the Doobie Brothers, T-Rex, made it in. T-Rex really deserved to be in. Great band. Mark Bolan was a really great songwriter. Also, guys, a couple quick things before we end the news. The Chapman drama that had surfaced a couple of weeks back has now resurfaced with a couple of new videos, one by Davidas and one by another YouTuber. Also, KDH has put his video back up, and Rob has actually responded with a couple of more videos that are basically saying, hey, if you guys want to talk about this, meet me at NAMM.
To meet as many people as possible, I thought it would be kind of cool to do a meet and greet outside the front of the NAMM show by the fountains. So if you're free on Saturday of the NAMM show or anywhere in the area, I'm going to be there from sort of 3:30 onwards with a coffee. It'll be like hang out and have a coffee with me kind of thing.
Kind of getting interesting on the drama front there. Fender has created a Saleen carbon fiber Stratocaster 1, which I thought was kind of neat.
The vehicle is a mid-engine, and you can see the engine through the tinted rear window. He suggested, let's put the power plant of the guitar, the pickup, underneath a tinted glass window too. And I thought, that would be a very cool element. Easier said than done.
Also, to everybody at NAMM, all my friends out there, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you guys on the flip side. You guys might recall the Native Sons straps giveaway that I did not all that long ago. A guy named Minwano actually won that. He sent me this picture, and you know, obviously this is not the first Native Sons good strap that he has bought, because man, look, he's got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It looks like this is his 8th one. So yeah, man, so it definitely couldn't have gone to a bigger Native Sons good straps fan. So yeah, thanks to Minwano for all the support. Thanks to Native Sons Goods for all the support that they've shown this channel for the last, you know, year and a half or so, you know, since they've started advertising with me. It's been great relationship. If you guys are interested in doing any advertisements with me, I am open to new advertising. So if you guys want to email me, my email is down below. If you have a small business or you have anything that's music related and you want to learn about advertising on this channel, definitely get in touch with me below. I also have lower rate advertising over on my channel too, if you want to reach people over there as well. So anyway, that will do it for the news. Alright guys, I did receive a couple of packages recently I would like to share with you guys, so let's open some viewer mail. Before I do, actually, I wanted to show you this. This was given to me by a friend of mine, by TJ. I'll show it to you over here. This is actually a bullet pin. I thought was really cool. You can see there, it's got like a bolt action rifle kind of a theme. It's even got the end on it there. Really well made pin. I definitely thank TJ for that. That's really cool. This one is from Tony Pepers, and he is somebody who I met on Facebook. Somebody introduced me to him, and a real interesting chap. And I guess these are like, what are these? Oh, that is cool. You know what this is? This is what this is. Look. And it's plastic. It won't mar up anything. Dude, that's brilliant. Look. Oh, yeah. That is cool. Thank you, Tony. That is really cool. And I got a whole set of them here. I didn't know what... I thought these were giant wire nuts. Because he was like... talking about what he does, and you know, he works at a gold mine, and you know, we were talking about mining in general, and like the amount of amps that the place draws is just like ungodly. It's like more than a lot of cities, you know. But he lives in New Zealand, and it's just a really cool chap. And he's like, hey, I'm gonna send you some stuff, and so that's really cool, dude. Thank you so much. What is this? What are you talking a beat? What are you talking a beat? Pepers pet. Oh yeah, okay. Sassy Drive. This is your pedal design, isn't it? I didn't know. I wasn't for sure what you were going to send me. You said you were going to send me some boards, but I wasn't sure what kind of boards. So I guess I could populate these and build one of your pedals, right? So is this like one of each design? Pepers pedals, rocket sockets, limited edition. DIY. Dude, that's cool. This is a DIY build. Make it for yourself, make it for a friend, have a friend make it. It was a gift, and it should never be sold. Wow, dude. Thanks to all my wonderful backers. This is a bonus for you guys for getting the goal to 151%. This wouldn't be possible without your help. 253 awesome people. So apparently he got some backing to do these. And he's just giving them away. Thanks and enjoy. Dude, man, this is just, you know what God, I've got the best freaking viewers in the world, man. That's so cool. Anybody that does this is just a freaking character. And I could tell he was a character anyway. We really hit it off. Just talking about the gold mining operation and stuff. It was so fun to talk to him. And then we've got, I guess these are little ancillary boards. Probably for the, is it for the Switch? Yeah, probably for the Switch. So very cool, man. That is so awesome. I don't even know what to say. And those Those are so freaking cool too. Got some stickers. Hell yeah. I love stickers. Everybody knows that. For rapid, damage-free pedal assembly. The rocket socket. Is this your invention? Is this your company, Rocket Socket? Well, I don't know. I don't remember if we talked about that or not. That's brilliant. It really is. I love my community. This whole community around this channel is awesome, man. You get people like this who invent shit and make pedals like this to be given away and never sold, you know? It's like, who does that? You know, people who watch this channel, I guess, do that. So that's really awesome. Here's another thing someone sent me, and this dude, I think he's been intending to send me this for a little while. But he's been talking about this guy that he knows, and he's like, yeah, man, this guy's the best luthier I've ever met kind of thing, and I want to send you one of his brochures. And I was like, yeah, man, sure, send it along. But his name is Martyn Booth. That's the name of his friend luthier. That's not the name of the guy who sent this. The name of the guy who sent this is Matt from Suffolk, home of Celestion. Is this a 1 penny? It's a penny. It's a British penny from 1901. That's cool. Queen Victoria on it. That's the very end of her reign, right? Didn't she die in like 1901? Something like that. So it would have been George right after her, right? Or Edward, I mean. Edward. Not George. Edward. Here is a copy of Martyn's brochure. They really are lovely instruments. That 335 shape, but solid, was his concept, made to that high spec, now associated with PRS. He went to Gibson and told them they needed to improve build quality and suggested a new flagship model, or at least a new model. And unsurprisingly, they passed, and the rest is history. So yeah, these are very high-end instruments, and it looks like Martyn has a lot of talent as a guitar builder. That's a gorgeous build. Yeah, we can thumb through and look at a couple of these. Really nice inlays on these. Very cool. Look at that top. Jeez. I've got a PRS actually. It looks a heck of a lot like that. Definitely looks PRS quality, at least in photos. One would expect a luthier's inspiration to be found in 20th century musical icon, epitomizing the passion of rock and roll, but not Martyn Booth. His idols are Newton, Faraday, Euclid, and Pythagoras. Those are some pretty good idols, I have to say. I would probably throw Da Vinci in there as well. And also Archimedes. I mean, yeah, look at that top. It's beautiful. Yeah, these are very high-end instruments for sure. Yeah, really nice. Hey, yeah, thanks for sending that. That's going to go into my collection of all the guitar brochures, I guess, that I have started now. Don Logan sent me boxes and boxes of guitar brochures, so I guess I have probably the largest collection of anybody that I know of now because of it. And we need to get to some of those again too, over on channel 2. I've been meaning to do that and just haven't had time. But I have 2 ginormous boxes that Don Logan sent to go through. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys for sending this stuff. I really appreciate it. Living in a fish islands, caught in the camera eye. I have no heart to lie. I can't pretend a stranger is a long-awaited friend. All the world's indeed a stage, and we are merely players, performers and portrayers, each another's audience outside the gilded cage. Living in the limelight, the universal dream for those who wish to see. Those who wish to be must put aside the alienation and get on with the fascination, the real relation, the underlying theme, the real relation, the underlying theme.